Good evening, loves. It's Angie Hicks-Clary, and I hope that everybody has had a great day. If you have, this is the first time that you're watching my YouTube channel. This is my third video, and I would encourage you to take a couple minutes, well, like a half hour, and back up, watch my first two videos, and they will explain a little bit more in depth about why I started this YouTube vlog and what I'm doing, kind of the intentions behind it, and all that good stuff. Tonight, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about before I get into my reading, but the one thing that I did want to touch on is just to anybody who watches this, if you have like this desire, and you'll feel it in your stomach, in your gut, in your heart. If you have any kind of desire, whether it's to take pictures, whether it's to paint, draw, whether it's to make some inspirational videos, whether it's to, get up in front of a crowd of people and, do some public speaking, for whatever reason. Maybe it's, you're trying to inspire somebody to, donate money towards a worthy cause, or, what have you, whatever might be on your little heart that you want to create or do for the good. But yet you're kind of scared you're scared of what other people will think about you, what you're going to look like on video or in pictures, or what people might think of your art, so on and so forth. Literally, throw that out the window, I'm telling you. And the reason I'm saying that is because up until just this last monthish, and definitely in the last few days, I've always been confident, but like each day, and kind of each month and each little like moment in time as I'm like going through my soul growth. I like to call it my soul growth because that's just what I like to call it. But anyways, I just, until I hit like each next level, I don't really understand what confidence is. And then like I think I know what it is, and then the next level of growth happens and I'm like, bam, I'm even more confident. Like, holy heck, look at me go. And not gonna lie, 2 videos ago, my very first video, I don't know how much it showed on video, but I was nervous. And then even last night's video, I was like, not quite as nervous, but still I was like, okay, how's this gonna go? What am I gonna say? I felt like I maybe had to script it, think ahead of time. But I have learned to not overthink things and just go with the flow. And when I just talk from my heart and off the top of my head, everything comes out exactly how it's supposed to. So, and sometimes I ramble, sometimes I go on little Angie tangents, but it's because I have a quick mind and it's always connecting about 10,000 steps ahead of the moment, and I can't help it. It's just kind of who I am. But anyhow, all that to say, bringing it back in, if you have any kind of desire to do anything such as what I'm doing right now, recording myself, I'm literally sitting at home by myself talking to my phone and essentially talking to a wall, and who knows what my neighbors think about me if they can hear me. They're probably like, what in the heck is that lady doing over there? But anyhow, I literally do not care what anybody thinks. And the reason why, the reason why I can firmly and confidently say that is because legitimately, the people who matter, the people who your little heart's desire is put there for, to go out into the world and inspire, they're gonna care. They're gonna be like, wow, look at that person. Like, look how confident they are, or wow, look at look at that picture they painted, that's amazing. And or that book, holy smokes, which, speaking of, we're going to be reading The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. Tonight is part 3, well, my part 3. Anyways, I really am rambling. I'm tired today. I've kind of got a headache. It's been a long week. But anyhow, I'll close all this to just say, if you feel like doing something, if you feel like creating, if you feel like inspiring, if you feel like speaking your mind, just jump. Just do it. And because sure, there might be some mistakes or some learning lessons along the way in how you create whatever it is that you're doing, but you're here for a reason. The reason you opened your eyes today is for a reason. If your time was up, you would not have opened your eyes today. And I firmly believe that all of us in our own little way are here to take care of others, to take care of the world, to create peace, to help, well, to one, first do our own growth, and then by doing our own growth and our own healing, then we inspire others to do theirs, you know, creating a ripple effect, so on and so forth. But so the whole Nike slogan saying, just do it, babes. Anyway, so I will get to reading. We are, again, like I said, reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm reading it in little chunks so that those individuals from my healing tribe, they know who they are on TikTok with my friend Jay Chanthalangsy. Anyway, so while they're working on getting their copies, and or if by chance they can't get a copy, then they can at least experience the book. And then anybody else that comes along and happens to catch my videos, I hope that me reading this book and you being able to listen to it, I hope it inspires something in you too. So I am going to try and remember where I left off last night, and I'll start reading. I believe this is where I left off. He decided to wait until the sun had sunk a bit lower in the sky before following his flock back through the fields. 3 days from now, he would be with the merchant's daughter. He started to read the book he had bought. On the very first page, it described a burial ceremony. Oh, I didn't leave off right here. I've already read this a little bit, but that's okay. And the names of the people involved were very difficult to pronounce. If he ever wrote a book, he thought, he would present one person at a time so that the reader wouldn't have to worry about memorizing a lot of names. When he was finally able to concentrate on what he was reading, he liked the book better. The burial was on a snowy day, and he welcomed the feeling of being cold. As he read on, an old man sat down at his side and tried to strike up a conversation. "What are they doing?" the old man asked, pointing at the people in the plaza. "Working," the boy answered dryly, making it look as if he had wanted to concentrate on his reading. Actually, he was thinking about shearing his sheep in front of the merchant's daughter so that she could see that he was someone who was capable of doing difficult things. He had already imagined the scene many times. Every time, the girl became fascinated when he explained that the sheep had to be sheared from back to front. He also tried to remember some good stories to relate as he sheared the sheep. Most of them he had read in books, but he would tell them as if they were from his personal experience. She would never know the difference because she didn't know how to read. Meanwhile, the old man persisted in his attempt to strike up a conversation. He said that he was tired and thirsty and asked if he might have a sip of the boy's wine. The boy offered his bottle, hoping that the old man would leave him alone. But the old man wanted to talk, and he asked the boy what book he was reading. The boy was tempted to be rude and moved to another bench, but his father had taught him to be respectful of the elderly. So he held out the book to the man for 2 reasons. First, that he himself wasn't sure how to pronounce the title. And second, that if the old man didn't know how to read, he would probably feel ashamed and decide of his own accord to change benches. Said the old man, looking at all sides of the book as if it were some strange object. "This is an important book, but it's really irritating." The boy was shocked. The old man knew how to read, and he had already read this book. And if the book was irritating, as the old man had said, the boy still had time to change it for another. "It's a book that says the same thing almost all the other books in the world say," continued the old man. "It describes people's inability to choose their own personal legends, and it ends up saying that everyone believes the world's greatest lie." "What's the world's greatest lie?" the boy asked, completely surprised. "It's this, that at a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. That's the world's greatest lie. That's never happened to me, the boy said. They wanted me to be a priest, but I decided to become a shepherd. Much better, said the old man, because you really like to travel. He knew what I was thinking, the boy said to himself. The old man, meanwhile, was leafing through the book without seeming to want to return it at all. The boy noticed that the man's clothing was strange. He looked like an Arab, which was not unusual in those parts. Africa was only a few hours from Tarifa. One had only to cross the narrow straits by boat. Arabs often appeared in the city, shopping and chanting their strange prayers several times a day. Where are you from? The boy asked. From many places. No one can be from many places, the boy said. I'm a shepherd, and I have been to many places, but I come from only one place, from a city near an ancient castle. That's where I was born. Well then, we could say that I was born in Salem. The boy didn't know where Salem was, but he didn't want to ask, fearing that he would appear ignorant. He looked at the people in the plaza for a while. They were coming and going, and all of them seemed to be very busy. So what is Salem like? He asked, trying to get some sort of clue. It's like it always has been. No clue yet, but he knew that Salem wasn't in Andalusia. If it were, he would already have heard of it. And what do you do in Salem? He insisted. What do I do in Salem? The old man laughed. Well, I'm the king of Salem. People say strange things, the boy thought. Sometimes it's better to be with the sheep who don't say anything, and better still to be alone with one's books. They tell their incredible stories all the time, or at the time, when you want to hear them. But when you're talking to people, they say some things that are so strange that you don't know how to continue the conversation.